Welcome to Nicole Sauce's Thought of the Walk, episode 49. I'm coming to you from the kitchen. That's right. I'm hoping I didn't just... Oh, nope, still going. Okay, good. Anyway, today I am doing the Holler Neighbor dinner. And look, my kitchen's a total disaster mess. I've got a towel on the counter, and I have been cutting fresh herbs and using my mortar and pestle. There's some eggs out, eggshells and onion. And then we come to the main event, the leg of lamb. That's right. One of the cool things about living off of your land and off of your local food economy is it's like Thanksgiving or Easter about once a week. I tend to make a big meal once a week or every other week that would be thought more of as a feast. But it's not that. It's just that to use all of the animal, you end up with some of these bigger cuts of meat. And I had a leg of lamb in the freezer, and I thought, cow's coming soon. There actually should be a lamb coming soon. Got pigs to slaughter, and I've got a 7.4 pound leg of lamb to cook, and it's my turn to cook dinner. So what I did is I made a rub out of rosemary and fresh freeze-dried basil from the property and salt and a little bit of celery salt and some pepper. It's that simple. And then I cut little slits in it and shoved garlic cloves up in there, right? So that they'll bake inside. I did this on both sides of the leg of lamb. And then I took fresh rosemary from the yard and also stuck it in some of those slits. And now what I'm going to do is roast this at 325 degrees for 20 minutes or so, maybe 25 minutes per pound. And then I'm going to let it rest. And then we're serving that for dinner. And in order to keep the tin foil, because I'll roast it covered, in order to keep the tin foil from touching the meat, I was like, what can I use to leave the tin foil above the meat a little bit so it doesn't touch it. And I thought about toothpicks, and then I realized I have these Demitasse spoons in my drawer already. They're metal, they're kind of rounded on top, so they're unlikely to slit the tin foil the way a toothpick will. And I can stick them in the existing holes where the garlic cloves are, and they'll hold the tinfoil above the roast leg, and then I can just throw it in there and I don't have to worry about anything. To this, I'll be adding a stick of butter. That's actually happening, most of a stick of butter, just to add a little fat, because adding fat is really good for your leg. And I'll get some fat from the fat on the lamb, but butter makes everything better. And so once this is covered, I'll roast it, let it rest, and then serve it tonight. And the way our community works here is that we have meals together twice a week, and we rotate between the 4 households who's cooking the main dish. And we say what the main dish is, and then everybody can decide what they want to add as a side dish. So I put out the word on Sunday. I'm doing leg of lamb on Tuesday, or if I'm out of town because I need to drive to Kansas and pick up my updated roaster. If I'm out of town, then Tactical's cooking leg of lamb, because I knew I could set up the leg, and the hard part's over, right? I made the homemade rub. I got it all set up. I stuffed the garlics in. I could have had this done on Sunday and then had it in this tray here that's a disposable aluminum tray. I actually washed them and reused them, but they work great for things like this. And he could just roast it as long as it needs to go. And then he can serve dinner if I can't. And then that means that, he kind of bails me out. And next time he's really busy on one of his cooking nights, I'll cook for him, and it all works. So that's what we're having. I really wanted to share that with you. The recipe really is super simple. And that's something people don't realize. Like, cooking Thanksgiving dinner is super simple, especially if you're just responsible for the turkey, right? All I did was take a leg of lamb. I let it defrost for 2 days in my fridge. And then I looked at it to see if anything needed to be trimmed off. Nothing did. I weighed it. And then I estimated how much garlic I needed to have for it, slit the skin on both sides, like flipped it, stuffed the garlic in, and made a rub out of salt, dried rosemary that I ran through the mortar and pestle to grind it up. And then I added celery salt and pepper and fresh powdered basil that I've freeze dried. So this grew here this summer and I ran it through the freeze dryer. And then I did that rub on the outside of the lamb, putting butter on top, put fresh sprigs of rosemary from the yard into the slit areas, and then I'm going to roast it at 325 until it is medium rare or medium. I'll probably go more towards medium, but we'll see, because you can kind of cut from the outside and get more well done of a cut, and we have people here who like medium rare. So it'll be about 20 minutes per pound. So 20, 40, 60, that's 2 hours and 20 minutes or so that this is going to go in the oven. It's, 2 o'clock now, so it'll be ready by about 5 after it's rested. We eat at 6, but I prefer to have something like this done early. And then from the drippings, I'll probably make a sauce or a gravy to go over the leg of lamb, and then we'll see what sides show up. I just wanted to share with you a little view into homesteading food, right? Homesteading food and how that works, because you do end up with a lot more things like legs of lambs and whole turkeys and whole chickens and hams and all this yumminess. And it's kind of fun. It's like you feel like you're celebrating every week when you have this big meal once a week. And then you can fold the leftovers into stews and sandwich salad mixes and salads and casseroles and all sorts of other stuff. I love it. It's a great way of life, and we eat great here at the Holler Homestead. Hope you enjoyed this thought of the walk. If you did, consider sharing it with a friend. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notified when we have new videos up. Make it a great week. I'll be back tomorrow with another thought of the walk.